What's happening, people? This is Rohit here, and in this podcast episode, I'm going to give just my opinion on food delivery apps, all the online services, on all the apps that a lot of people use, but I just don't use it, and I'm not trying to justify or say or try to move people to my side. I'm just going to give my side of the story of why I just don't use it, and this is something which I feel is kind of unique to me because I don't use Spotify, I don't use any music streaming apps, I don't use a lot of online services, I don't use a lot of online delivery apps, including food delivery apps. I don't use Uber and all Lyft, so many ride sharing apps as well. And what all I've learned from this because of not using all these apps. First, let's start with shopping online in general. I always like to be old fashioned, like going to the store because that's how my childhood was. Like, yes, online now these days, my generation, a lot of people, I'm in my 20s, a lot of people, when I talk to them, they're shopping online. But I like to be old fashioned, go there in the store, feel the product. If it has to dress, I want to know how it fits on me. So I like to go there in person, and take a lot of time and do whatever is needed, right? So I'm that kind of person. That's how my childhood was as well. Like, my family would go to the store, and then I will go in the toy section, I'll be doing my own stuff. That shopping, I like to do it in person. That's what I realized when I went to get my own code, or when I went to get what all I wanted to get in person. I like to do that. Now, next, grocery app. For me, that's another different thing because as an international student, I'm going outside doing all my grocery shopping. Walmart, when you do it online, what you need, you're searching, you're getting it done, yes, you're picking it up, yes, you're saving time, all that is fine. But at the same time, you don't realize how many impulse buys which are going to be there just because you're not going there in person. Now let's take my Walmart. I've said that in the Walmart video journal as well, the life lessons that I learned from Walmart. Every single time I go there, it's for my self-care. I get time just for myself. I get to spend time. That's like my me time. And I was like, period, that's it. But when I'm going there and I'm spending 3 to 4 hours at Walmart Supercenter, it's about what all I can get. I'm visualizing of so many things. It's like going to IKEA to an IKEA place and then visualizing my new home there. That's all I'm like. And right now, as an international student, because of the finance burden, I'm like, you know what, right now I don't have that money, but I'm going to get that. That's what I did when I went to Best Buy as well. So all those were things were the ones running. But the most important part was I'm actually walking to Walmart. I'm walking 1 or 2 miles to go to Walmart. And then when you're coming back, what all impulse buys are there? Sometimes I give like to give myself that treat product kind of thing. So one or two treat products will be there, and that would cost money, obviously. But while coming back, one bag, two bag, three bag, four bags are there. And coming back, I'm making some rest stops. That's when I actually questioned myself: did really need that item? What use was that item for me? But so just because of that incident, next time there won't be any impulse buys. I'm treating myself at the same time. I'm teaching myself a lesson so that the next time that impulse buying is not there at all. So all these tendencies are avoided just because I'm doing it offline. Next, let's come to food delivery apps. I grew up in a culture where going to the restaurant and eating is like big thing because that's family time. You're getting there and just spending time, right? So for me, that was a huge thing. And again, impulse buys. There's so many scams which are going on with food delivery apps. For me, I'm like, I don't know, what is the point of food delivery? You're not being there in the restaurant. You're not feeling the atmosphere. Each restaurant has the different vibe of what they want to set and the different audience. And since my childhood, for me, it was more like I got to be at that restaurant and we got to know the supervisor, we got to know the managers. It comes with its own perks. So coming from that culture again, that shopping as well as restaurant, my dad and my parents, like my mom and my dad, like the kind of time that I spent with them in restaurants, every single place that I went, that's those are very precious memories for me. So I don't want to lose that. So for me, that food delivery apps, when I see my generation, I'm nobody to say that it's wrong or it's unhealthy, but at the same time, I personally don't like it, and that's why I don't do it. But yeah, this generation is going in that way. That's how the whole world is going. So I'm just not saying anything, but I just find it interesting that I don't use. That's for food delivery apps. Now let's come to ride sharing and all those apps. First of all, this there is this joke that our parents used to walk 1 mile just to save $1, but this generation is spending $1 just to save the time of not walking 1 mile. So for me, I feel I'm doing it because of the health benefits. At the same time, the way how I think is, you know what, it costs $2. If I $2 to walk that 1 or 2 miles, and this was in Philly, like $2 I can skip on the train. So basically, from my house in Philadelphia, around Temple University to Rutgers Camden, that was like 5 miles. and there's a bridge in between, Benjamin Franklin Bridge. And the cost for going there, first you have to take SEPTA and then PATCO. So each one it costs around like $4 to $5. So my idea is $4 to $5 if I save it by walking 5 miles. Those dollars I can use on food to explore food in Philadelphia. So that was my ideology, and that's what I used to do. And even now, I feel I'm doing that in a lot of different ways. You know what? If I walk this distance, I'm saving money, and that I'll calculate and put in another place. So that's how my mindset works in a way. So for me, I got to do a lot. I've done crazy stuff like that, walking at night, and not just about saving money, it's about health. Like, it does not make sense for me to use a ride sharing app and then go and do all of that. I know that the thing is, when you have things at your fingertips, it's very easy to spend a lot of money as well. You don't realize it, but once you curb and cut it down, that's when you realize, okay, that's how much money. When you think of how much you have saved till now, it will make a lot of difference. The last one, let's talk about Amazon. Yes, it's the same ideology again. The one thing which surprises a lot of people is I'm super old fashioned when it comes to listening to songs. I don't use any streaming platforms. Yes, I hear a lot of people using Apple Music and then Spotify, and then there's this end of the year recap. So many nice features, all that is fine. I'm super old fashioned. I like to download songs. I like to listen to songs the old fashioned way. And the way how it started also is a very different thing, because earlier I think you needed internet to stream all these songs. Now I feel it's changed. Now you can save it offline. So many different features are there. But for me, I like to keep it offline so that I can listen to it when there is no internet, when there's traveling. Now it's the world is changing. Now there you can stream anywhere. Internet is there everywhere. All that is fine. But the way how I work for my song is I have my own playlist. Songs come in the playlist. Songs go out of the playlist. That downloading takes a lot of effort. That you actually it becomes a core memory for me. If you tell me a song from my phone, I can tell you what is happening in my life during that point of time when I downloaded that song. I can say, oh, this is when I started my undergrad. Oh, this is when I came to Philadelphia. I moved in and I was listening to this song. So that becomes a core memory for me. And I'm very hard on the songs as well. They come in out of they come in the playlist. Yes, they are precious to me, and they go out of the playlist. I'm like, you know what, the song is done, so you can leave. So that becomes a very core memory for me. And so much effort that goes into just downloading the songs, it's not easy, right? It's not like, oh, one click. That's not how it works. But when you put in so much effort, it definitely becomes a core memory. It becomes it holds a special place in my heart as well. Like, oh, that song that really connected to me. And right now I'm in this Italian songs phase, and then earlier I used to be in K-pop songs phase. So definitely I learned a lot of these things, and I don't want the software to recommend and tell me, oh, this you have to listen to this. And even in YouTube also, yes, I'm discovering and exploring songs in my own way. But when the software is telling you, oh, why should I let the AI? Yes, this is again a debatable topic, but I don't want the AI to recommend you, oh, this is something you might like, this song. This I'm guessing that's how Spotify also works. But from what I heard from people, I'm like, oh, I don't want that AI kind of thing to tell me. But yes, the world is going at a very different pace compared to what I'm doing. But sometimes I just like to be old fashioned. I don't like to use phone at all, apart from just camera, which I use for vlogging. Just being old fashioned, just having fun with what all I do. And it's all about enjoying the journey, being grateful, and living life to the fullest, and being that old fashioned person in me. Like, we are antique pieces. We need to be put in the museum. You don't find a lot of people like this who are being that old fashioned in 2024 right now. So yeah, this is just a fun fact about me, and why I kind of do what I do. Thank you all for watching. See you all in another one. Till then, bye from me.